Got everything laid out that comes in the package. Got all the velvet, the portions of the tower itself, and then the tray side piece, and the acrylic here. So we're gonna go through the different steps, starting with the tower, and then the velvet will get put on partway through the different stages here. So very first things we're gonna do is assemble the deflector wall sub-assemblies, and then we'll get the velvet on those. Now, some of these pieces we're going to want to glue. We're not gluing everything in this one just because the acrylic, and we don't want to get glue all over the acrylic when we're doing it. So I'm going to start with the top deflector wall here. And these little pieces here have little kind of ramps for bumping the dice up. So basically we're going to start by inserting these in there. And you can glue these. It'll be retained by the other pieces, so it's not critical that you do, but so we get both those in there, just like that. I'm gonna take the lower deflector wall. I'm gonna pop that on these two pieces right here, just like that. And then we're gonna do the same thing. So if we glued these, give it a chance to dry. We're gonna do the same thing with the other side. Pop both of these through. Like that, and then put the lower deflector wall on. Yep. And these are symmetrical, doesn't matter which side it goes on. But we'll just set those over. They would be drying if we use glue. We're not going to do that because the video would take too long. This is the top deflector for the middle section. So you take these two pieces, glue along the inside here, and just makes a little triangular piece like that. So you want to set that aside, let that one dry. Once the glue dries on these, you can start doing the velvet. So you gotta peel the back off on this. And it can be a little bit tricky to get started sometimes. And then all you do is align the slots with these little ramp ups. Like that, get everything nice and squared up. And we're going to take the other piece, which has got the slots in it and little angular cuts here. That's going to go on the bottom right here. Slip in. So again, peel the back. It helps kind of get it aligned before you press anything down. And just make sure it's pressed down all the way. Sometimes it helps to put get a little tool of some sort and kind of push it down in the middle sections where you can't quite get your finger in there. But we're just gonna make two of these little sub-assemblies. So we'll do that with this one next. Yeah, sometimes these things get a little bit. Again, just line it up over those little ramps. Press down. Same thing with this bottom one. Just gonna peel the edge. This one came up nice. There we go. Just slide that in. Get the front edge here lined up. So this edge here is the front, so that's the one that you're gonna be most critical on. Get everything pushed down nice. So now you have these two sub-assemblies, and we're just gonna kind of put those off to the side till later. And once this little triangular piece here dries, again, you put the glue on the flat spots here in the valleys and the little notches. And take this kind of rectangular piece here. And see if we can do this without it falling apart because it's not glued in this one. But line it up on one side. Just like that. and then you want to just kind of roll it over. And the velvet's all cut with the laser, the same dimensions as the part, so it should match up very nice. Okay. Just put that one off to the side as well. And since we're doing the velvet right now, we'll get these two pieces on. So this is for the very bottom deflector wall that kicks the dice out of the tower. It's going to go on this piece right here, and it basically just fits over the whole piece. So again, just line it up. There we go. Make sure it's stuck on there real nice. And then we're going to take this piece, and this one's going to go right here like this. So we can get started here. Okay. So this one, you kind of want to line up the little the radius corner there with this front edge. Bring that all the way across. Make sure it stays straight. There we go. And it'll line up nice with the notch in it. Make sure it's stuck on good. Okay. Now what we're going to do is take the back wall, which is this one with the different notches going through it. The notches, or the grooves and valleys here on the top, this is the top portion, this is the bottom. And you can kind of see one side has the little burn marks from the laser, so that was the top when we were cutting it. It's easier to put the parts into the top piece, so that's why we usually like to set it up. We'll put that one down here, and we're going to take these pieces, the sub-assemblies that we did initially. So these just basically go right into these grooves here. And you can put a little bit of glue on this, just try not to put too much so you don't get velvet on it, or the glue on the velvet. So we're going to line that up like that, and just kind of push it into place. Same thing on the other side. Like that. And then we're going to take the little top deflector wall, the middle one, I'm just going to push that right into there. So once we have these guys all assembled, we're going to put the acrylic on. So the acrylic, we left the one side on here. If it came with an etch, it'd be on this side here. The etch is actually inverted, so you're going to have the portion that either has the etch on it or the part that came bare facing into the tower. And again, the notches correlate with these notches up here, so that goes like this and everything will line up. So we're going to peel this guy off. Just like that. And what we're going to do is we're just going to line it up on those notches. Take your time lining everything up. Don't want to push too hard and crack something or splinter a piece of wood or something. So let's get it lined up and squeeze it together. Try to support the piece when you're squeezing it all together. There we go. Okay. So once we have that, we can start with the side pieces here. So these are the side walls for the tower. Again, same thing. You can kind of see some little like flare-up corner spots like here that would indicate that this is the top. We found it's easier to assemble when you put that side on the inside of the tower. The laser kerf cut a little bit at an angle, so it's a little bit forgiving. So what we're going to do with this one is we're going to set this like this. And you just kind of very carefully line it up and just work your way down. And this is where you can start using the glue. So on this back wall here, before we put this piece in, you want to put glue in these different valleys. You can get it to assemble there nice. I wouldn't put glue on the acrylic side just because it's hard to clean up, and it'll be fully retained, so it doesn't really need it. Once you get that, we're gonna do the other side wall. But we gotta do these lower deflector walls and the support wall first. So these ones here, these ones nest together. So this one inserts in just like this. And these are gonna drop in like this. Now there's a little post on this for the pivot circle piece right here. So sometimes it helps if you actually take one of the other pieces and set this on top of it. And that just allows us to push it through without that bottoming out. So we're gonna put both of these together. We're gonna line it up just like, this. Kind of squeeze it together, get them to drop in. And then we're gonna put this other support piece on. So again, this support piece and the support piece for the actual tray look very similar. They're almost identical, but one is a little bit longer. We're gonna use the shorter one for the tower. So I'll put a little bit of glue there. I'm gonna drop this into this slot here. Okay. And then we're gonna use the other side wall. So this is one of the trickier ones because these walls down here can move around a little bit, but you've got access to move them around. So we're just gonna kind of get everything aligned before we press anything together. And just wiggle the parts around until they kind of drop in the slots. And then same deal, just carefully zipper it on up and make sure everything's in there. This is the other spot on the back that we'd probably want to glue just to make sure everything's stays together real nice once it's all assembled. So it should look like this at this point. And then we're going to take the very top, and same thing. It'll go together easier if you do the side that looks like it was the top flared piece. Put that towards the tower. So again, just kind of put it around. This is on the wood connections here. You can put some glue if you want. Yeah. And then while you're going along, before any of the glue dries, get it going with a Q-tip or something and clean any of the excess out. But this is how it should look right now. And then we're going to put the pivot points on. So these circles here. So these will drop onto this post right here, and there's a secondary little post right here. And we're going to put that in just a second. But put some glue on this right here. Drop it in. And then a little bit of glue on the sides of this one. We're going to drop that in and kind of wiggle it around until it lines up, and we can just push it on in there. And then same thing on the other side. Again, a little bit of glue there. I'll pop that one in. A little bit of glue on this guy. And just drop it in the slot, wiggle it around till it's all the way in there. There we go. So that's the tower portion. Now we got to make the tray. Okay, so what we're gonna do is start with this wall back here. Put some glue in these valleys here. Just put it right onto that floor piece. Just like that. And then what I like to do is actually go to one of the side walls. And again, we're gonna put glue on the valleys all the way across. All nice and tight. When you're assembling this, you want to make sure there's no gaps as much as possible, because you've got the tower pivoting in this and you don't want to have the clearances too tight. So at this point, we can go in and put the floor velvet in. So what we're going to do, I'm going to do this on camera here. Kind of get it started along this bottom wall. Just get the edge to line up. Best you can there. And then we're going to slide this in. And when you get to this edge here, it helps to have a tool to help kind of form the crease. So if you go along and just kind of push down in that corner, you should be able to get it to where the velvet essentially lines up with the top edge of that back wall there. Okay, since we have that, we're going to glue the back support in. So put some glue back there, pop that into the channel. Now we're going to take the tower, and the pivot circle right here is going to drop right in this bore. There we go. I'm going to put glue here, and along these valleys here. I'm going to take the last side wall of the tray. I'm going to kind of align it on this side here. Get it centered on the pivot circle, and then kind of just work your way down on the floor, or on the tray portions there. And you want to go through, make sure all the glue is cleaned out of the joint areas. Don't want it gluing up on you, but make sure everything's tight. There we go.